Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. Hi, I'm Ray, the Market Trader, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with our risk disclosure here, guys. Just to remind one that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of the information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor, and that an investor could potentially lose all or more than their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used when trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation and offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex. And then ultimately, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay. So now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way here, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on into our news portal here and see what the news has to say for today. So we have already received some reports on housing. Building permits are all above forecast. We have some additional reports coming in. We have, I guess, a keynote speaker from NVIDIA. We have 20-year note yields being reported here at 1 p.m. We have some industrial numbers coming in at 9:15. And then, so relatively light, I would say, I guess, news-wise. I think tomorrow would be a little bit more. We have FOMC is definitely going to be something that's going to have an impact on the markets. We also have inventories coming in tomorrow as well. So tomorrow is probably going to be far more impactful when it comes to news. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on now, okay, to the the portal, and let's start our review here, okay? So let's do away with this. Let's locate our platform on this, and we'll go ahead and get started, okay? So we'll go ahead and start with the gold market. We always start with a continuous contract just because it gives me the flexibility to review a lot more detail here in this market, okay? So let's go ahead and remove our drawings here. Let's take a look at this, okay, from a kind of a little bit of a macro view here. Let's turn off some of our indicators here. Let's see here. Gotta turn this off. We gotta turn this off. Turn this off. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Turn this off, and then turn this off. Okay. All right. Let's see. So again, looking at this from a kind of macro point of view. Okay. So you can see here that we continue to make a very strong push to the upside in this market. Okay. Nothing on the daily is indicating really otherwise, right? I'm still very much pushing higher. Okay. And if you look at this most recently, we've had one, two, three, not so great a bullish day, 4, 5, 5 straight bullish days, okay, to the upside. And in the process, we've broken some significant levels. Okay, we broke above 29.70, okay, which was something that we were tracking in this market. Now that we've broken this 29.70, okay, this is now a level that I'm going to keep an eye on, all right, in the future, okay, because I expect that this level is now going to be supportive. And the fact that it's a daily level even carries a little bit even more significance for me, okay? So I'm going to mark that level 29.70, 29.72. This is an area that I would expect to be supportive should price ever come back to it, Okay. Well, eventually it will come back at some point, right? It will eventually come back, at least retest this level, and then maybe potentially offer us another extension here to the upside. Okay. 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we continue to make our series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, in this market. Okay, we're above our 233-day EMA, which is a level that I use and track in this market. Okay, right. So again, and more recently, again, we seem to be in a very healthy move to the upside. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We'll add some of our levels here to this chart and gauge where we are with respect to those levels. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to add to this is our fixed range volume profile. I'm going to locate the start of the session here back at 8:30 Eastern, drag that across to the close at 4:30 Eastern. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and extend this line here. Okay, so this line is falling right around 3009. Okay, this is our value area high. Okay, value area high. So this would be, again, if we start making a move to the downside, this would be a reasonable target to for that move. Okay, value area high. So basically, come back down to this level and potentially bounce off of it. Okay, and I say bounce off of it because of the fact that our overall sentiment in this market remains bullish. Okay, so we have price above our anchor. I mean, not anchored. Our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP here for the start of London. Okay, that gives me kind of a gauge on what London did to contribute to this move here. Okay, I'm going to go one more candle over. I think, yeah, right there. So there's our London view of the market. Okay, so that's just London's contribution to this push higher. Okay, now we've already exceeded our average daily ranges. Okay, and I assume that we are close, if not already above our average session ranges. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, open up my average session range if I can locate it here in the list of I don't see it at the moment. See, no, that's not it. There, no, that's not it. Okay, first thing, let's go ahead and open up our initial balance range. Okay, so we can see that our initial balance range is getting established here. Let's go ahead and open up our average session range here. Okay, so average session range. Let's see, where is that? Did I not edit? I thought I did. Try one more time. Oh, there it is. Maybe. Okay, I got too many things going on here. Let's see. Honestly, don't see it. Let's see. We'll try this one more time. Go to invite only. Go down to ADR. Okay, that's better. Okay, all right. So let's adjust the settings here. Let's remove this background color because it's a little bit alarming. So let's see if I can get to that. Of course, it's below here. Remove that. Remove that. Okay, there. See if I can modify this background color here. Get rid of this. Okay, better. Input. Let's go ahead and change this to London. Okay, so there we are. Okay, so we've already exceeded both our ASR and ADR ranges here. Okay, you can see that those ranges have been already breached to the upside. Okay, So what to do? Well, oftentimes when we breach, a level like this, it serves as an area of support. Okay, so this area down below here, okay, could serve as an intermediate area, right? So with every little push that we get to the upside, I always wait for some sort of retracement before I'm willing to participate in this market. Okay, so this could serve as this level here around 3040. Okay, could provide us a location for us to look for an execution. If that doesn't provide us, there's another level here that's been, you can see how well price has followed this VWAP. This would be kind of a secondary location, right? This also kind of is serving as kind of our initial balance low. All right, and that could also be a secondary area for maybe to participate to the long side. Very difficult, I would say, to look and participate right at the highs. Okay, we're kind of very much at the mercy of maybe some sellers kind of stepping in, pushing the market lower, and then taking the market higher. So for now, I would say that to look for bullish trades, we need either a pullback at its current levels, or we need price to exceed initial balance, okay, to the upside, okay, and then we participate in the pullback down to initial balance high, and then look for a trade above on the on and using initial balance high as our reference level. Okay, so notice a lot of scenarios where I'm bullish, and mainly because of the fact that the higher time frame charts are all telling me bullish price action or bullish sentiment. Okay, now at some point. At some point, we are going to have a little bit of a pullback. Okay, the question is whether it's going to happen today, right? But there is going to be some sort of pullback. This markets do not move up in a straight line. Okay, just like we got a little bit of a pullback here, I expect that we'll get a little bit of a pullback, and we just need to be patient and ready for that pullback to support an execution. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what I see in the gold market. Like I said, we've breached a lot of levels here. I'm going to be patient and wait for price to establish the initial balance range. I have another half hour or so for that to happen, and then I need the completion of this candle, and then I can wait to see what direction they decide to take this market. Okay, so that's kind of what I see in the gold. Just kind of looking to see if there's anything in the chat that needs clarification. Doesn't appear to be. So we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay, crude oil market has again of a kind of pushed higher of late, possibly as a result of all the news events that we're having and taking place in the Middle East. We're starting to see maybe that we are getting a little bit of a push higher, but it does show here that there are still sellers very much present and available here, right? A lot of selling wicks above these moves that we're seeing in crude oil. Okay, so again, while we've broken what appears to, I think we've broken some structure here to the upside. And the reason that what I'm saying by structure, I'm saying more kind of this structure here. Okay, we've broken to the upside. Our move hasn't really accelerated, in the direction, right? So we're still getting our volume profile is not really aligned with the general direction of price here. Okay, we're seeing a lot of sellers come into this market, and price is above. So that tells me that there's still more downside in this market. Okay, given what we're seeing as far as volume, right? So while I see that we are breaking some structure, it is not aligned with volume. So my view continues to be somewhat bearish in crude oil. Okay, moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart again. We're going to go ahead and turn off our indicators here for now. Let's see if I can turn off. Let's see, get to some of these. We'll turn off initial balance for now, and then I'm not sure what these. Okay, this I wanted. Go further down here. Let's turn this off here. Okay, and we'll leave those on. Okay. All right. Okay, so looking at this, you can see that what we're kind of seeing is a lot of overlapping price action. Okay, and at the end of this, we have a developing bearish engulfing. Okay, that's kind of aligned with our volume, right? So we have volume kind of stepping in to the short side. Okay, and this candle here is aligned with what we're seeing on the volume delta side. Okay. So again, we see that maybe we're going to see maybe a continuation. Now, one thing I want to make a note of is that we did manage to bounce off of value area high from Monday, right? We came down to this price, did not accept value, okay, and bounced off of it, okay? We bounced away from value, all right? Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so we reached our ASR highs. Okay, we came back to retest it, and we've continued lower. Okay, so where could this market stall? Well, I don't see any reason, given what I'm seeing here, that price cannot get back to settlement price. Okay, that certainly seems to be available here in this market. All right, so this is settlement price of 67.60. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Let's get a sense for where price is in relation to yesterday's value. So we're going to go ahead and open up, let's see, right about here, Monday, drag that across to the close, right about here. Okay, so this area here, I would expect would be supportive, okay, to price. Okay, supportive in the sense that there's a possibility that could bounce away from it. This value area high here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and open up our anchored VWAP and get a sense for where price is in relation to London. Okay, so here's the start. We got a little pivot at London right about here. Okay, so we're at our anchor there. So you can see that price is below some structure here, below VWAP, below our anchored and our daily. We broke in some structure here to the downside. So all things kind of point to maybe further exploration of price lower. Okay, this level is going to be interesting for me to see. This is value area high. Is this going to provide us a little bit of a bounce? Okay, in price, value area high, or are we going to accept price inside value? Okay, at which point we rotate all the way down to the edge of value. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I'm going to let's see, open up our not fixed range. We're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance. So relatively wide and first candle here for initial balance. So I'm going to kind of be patient here and wait. This is kind of kind of a daunting candle to have as our first candle here. You can see here that we have price moving in a bearish way, and it's supported with increasing volume in that direction. Okay, again, supporting our case that there's further downside in this market. Okay, so that's kind of what I have. I'm going into this market, I guess, a bit bearish. I understand that I am coming into an area where I could potentially get a bounce in this market here around value area high. So I'm going to be patient for that to take place, and then wait for maybe a 15-minute candle to give me an indication that maybe a 3-bar reversal, whatever the case may be, to give me some indication that price is going to indeed respect this level and give me an opportunity to come back to the highs of day. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. We'll go ahead and move on to the market that everyone is waiting to get some feedback on, and that's the Nasdaq. Okay, so looking at the Nasdaq, we're going to go ahead and start off with the daily. All right. Okay, so looking at the daily, looks like we got what appears to be kind of not a kind of, but it looks like a gap open. Okay, I see a gap. We got a gap open here Our volume delta bar is telling us that maybe there is some more downside opportunity available. Okay, we're right up against our 233-day EMA. So chances are, based on the structure that I'm seeing here, that the gap up is kind of throwing me off, but it looks like maybe this is kind of the move, right? So again, that would align with our general direction of this market. What kind of it's got me thrown off here a little bit is the fact that we have a gap, yet we have a developing a bearish candle here. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart here. Again, we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here for a moment, since initial balance is not in play for another, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So we'll turn that off for now. Okay, and take a look at what the 4-hour chart is telling us. So again, here's our gap. We've been kind of overlapping price. We have a developing bearish candle at the moment. Okay. So this still feels to me that this is more of a corrective wave, okay, corrective kind of structure rather than an impulsive one, okay. This looks like a three swing kind of pattern that's going to lead to maybe a potential move here again to the downside. That's what it looks like to me, okay. Based on my understanding of swings, this does not feel like an impulsive. This feels more corrective, okay. Moving to the 30-minute chart. Okay, this is where we're going to go ahead and turn on our initial balance. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do just that. We'll turn on our initial balance and get a sense for where price is in relation to initial balance. Well, actually, initial balance is not. What I wanted to say. We're going to open up fixed range volume profile, take a look and see where price is in relation to yesterday's value. Okay, that's always a good litmus test for me. Okay, to understand where price is in relation to yesterday's value. Okay, so here we are. We see that we have value area high here, right around 19,830. Is that 837? Looks like 837.50, which is also around this settlement price level. Okay, so this would be a logical area, okay, to see price bounce off of, right? Price to come down to this level and bounce away from it. Okay. This would be a logical level for that. Okay. Now, if we do accept price back inside, well, then we have the possibility of an acceptance. Okay. Value area acceptance opportunity that takes us all the way down to 19,660. Okay. If we get that. So a couple of levels to watch. I think the most immediate one is this value area high. Okay. We have both an ADR and an ASR here just below value area high. So this area, all this region right here, could be supportive. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a little box area right in green. This whole area could be a supportive area. Okay, down to ADR low here at 19,776. Okay, as high as our value area high at 19,834. This region here seems to me, based on what I'm seeing here to the left-hand side, that this could provide us maybe a location, maybe for an opportunity back up to the upside. Now, we do see that price is below VWAP. Okay, it is also appears to be below our anchored VWAP here. Okay, this is the start of London, right about there. Okay, you can see that price is below our anchored and our daily VWAP. Okay, and we're close to some areas where we could see some demand in price, right? So this area here, if we kind of close this entire gap, okay, this would be a logical area to see price reverse away from. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the NASDAQ. Like I said, we're about 15 minutes or so away from the open of this market, so we'll have to remain patient for the market to open and see what it provides. But right now, we're kind of in bearish structure, approaching areas where we could potentially receive some sort of bounce away from these levels. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the ES market. Okay, S&P. Okay, looking at the S&P, we're going to go ahead and again start with our daily chart. Okay, daily chart, take a look and see what that's providing. Again, kind of throwing me off with this gap. We see a gap, yet we see selling. Okay, that's a gap to sell. I'm not sure what to make of that. Okay, again, we're starting to break. I don't know if we've quite done it or not. If I draw my channel here, okay, is this an area where that's been broken? Let's see. Yeah, it's been broken to the upside. Okay. So I don't know if this is some early indications that maybe we are in store for maybe a swing higher. Oh, it's a new contract. Okay. Thank you, Anthewell. Did not understand this. Did not understand the gap there. Thank you for that. All right. Okay, so that kind of shines a different light to this. Okay, but nonetheless, we do see just before the contract expiration, we did see that price did make it above this channel, so that could provide us maybe some potential move back higher. Okay, so let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay, a lot of lines here. Let's go ahead and remove some of them. Okay, for our chart, we're beginning to see maybe some structure that's leading us to an upside move here. I see 50, 5800, 57, 50. Okay, that could be resistant. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. This could be an area that's resistant to price. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that in red. Okay. And then let's see what do we have as far as support. Looks like 5500. Okay, is a supportive area. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that in on the 4-hour chart. Always like to be aware. This looks like more like 5509. Always like to be aware of supply and demand zones. Okay, on a higher time frame. Okay, so this is a level here that I see on the 4-hour chart that could be resistant, and down below here could be an area where we could see some support here around 5907, 5505, somewhere in that range. You're welcome, Frizu. All right. So moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart here. Okay, so we're kind of in the middle of the range. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here. Okay, so fixed range volume profile for the start of Monday, drag that across to the close of Monday here. There we are. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and draw in that same range that I drew right at value area high. Okay, right about at it looks like 5683. Okay, I would expect that this area could offer us maybe a little bit of a bounce in price. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Okay, as a possibility. Okay, we also have average session low from London of it also here. Okay, so this area here around I don't know 5660 56 85 ish. Okay, could be an area 5680 could be an area where we could see potential bounce in price. This is also an area for settlement. Settlement prices often serves as kind of a magnet to price. Okay, so again, for on the short term, I don't see why, or I don't see any reason that we would not come back to settlement before we make any sort of turnaround in this market. Okay, we do see that our volume delta bar is starting to show some signs of strength here. Okay, with this current candle, we're starting to see a bullish some bullish interest. Okay, in this market. Okay. All right. So we've got our volume profile. The only thing that's remaining is my anchor VWAP here. So we're going to go ahead and draw that in. Okay, right about there. Okay, so there's our anchor VWAP. So we have price below both our VWAP and our anchor VWAP, indicating that there is some more potential for maybe a downside move. Now, like I said before, this area down below 5680 to 5685, this 5680, yeah, 5675 could offer us a location for price to reverse away from. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to say about the S&P. I do not see anything immediate. Okay. So right now, like I said, we are kind of in this bearish structure. Okay. So I'm going to draw an area of supply here. Okay. So it looks like this 57, I don't know, 25 area is resistant to price at the moment. Okay. I'm going to color that, fill that in red as well. Okay. So resistant to price around 57.40. And so again, that could lead us to maybe a move to the downside. And then down below here, as I already mentioned, as an area where we could potentially reverse back. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I have for the ES. So before I kind of move on to the Dow, I just wanted to kind of remind everyone to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, make a comment or two when you see this video available on YouTube, and if you are so inclined, also consider supporting me with a membership of some sort. Okay, to continue to motivate me to come and provide this analysis for you, which I suspect is supporting you in your efforts in analyzing the markets. Okay. So yeah, let's close out with our last instrument of the day, the Dow. Okay. So looking at the Dow, again, you see a lot of similarities in all the equity markets, a lot of similar price action. Okay. We'll take a look at the daily. Again, we have that same gap as a result of contract expiration. Thank you, Anthewil, for that. So again, we started to show signs here with the last couple of days that maybe we had just found a kind of temporary bottom here around 40,809, and the market was starting to begin to rally away from that level. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove our drawings here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart, see what the 4-hour chart has to say. So we have kind of, again, similar kind of thing that we've broken some structure here. We had a candle break to the upside. We had another candle break. We had our contract expiration, and now we're kind of in a kind of ranging price action with a volume delta bar that indicating that there is a fair amount of volume coming into the short side. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, we have our ADR and ASR ranges. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile for the start of Monday, drag that across to the close of Monday. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and extend that same line again, right around settlement. We have value area high here at 41,911. Okay. It would be strange for me not to see price eventually come back down and revisit this area before we decide to push in any sort of direction. I can't imagine, although it's possible, but my current view is that we're going to revisit this area below us before we decide to make any sort of change in direction in this market. Okay, and as long as we stay below VWAP, and I would say maybe below 42,230, I would say that there is still a fair amount of structure that's being built that is leading us lower, okay, in this market, okay? And then again, the next level that I see that could offer us maybe an opportunity for a reversal in price is down here at 41,911, maybe as low as 41,853, okay? All right. Well, I think that's pretty much what I have to share and offer you is with respect to these markets. Again, please don't hesitate to offer a comment or two. Please take a look at the portal and see review some of our membership levels and see if any of those entertain or entice you to continue to support the platform. And then we also have these, what do you call these? Super stickers to kind of support me in my efforts here to support Market Trader in my okay. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. As we close every session, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have an excellent trading day. Wait for your levels. Wait for evidence that the level is going to be aligned with the direction of your trade, and then execute your trade. Okay? Have an excellent day, and we'll talk soon.